Soft winds carry us through a land of golden light, where temples rise like quiet guardians beneath the endless sky. Here, in the heart of ancient Mexico, the Aztecs whispered their devotion through rituals both delicate and profound. Among the flowers of the valley, warriors and priests alike moved in harmony with the sacred rhythm of life, honoring the sun and the spirits with every breath. Let us drift gently into this world of colors and incense, where even conflict became a dance of reverence. In these stories, the flower wars bloom not as tales of fear, but as luminous offerings to the divine, soothing the soul with their calm rhythm. As you listen, allow your body to soften, your mind to wander, and your spirit to float among petals, temples, and the tender echoes of sacred devotion. If this gentle journey brings peace to your heart, subscribe to travel with us through other sacred stories. Or whisper below where you are listening from, letting your presence bloom in this shared, serene space. The night lingers gently, wrapping the valley in a velvet hush. The stars above are soft lanterns, flickering slowly, as if breathing with the world beneath them. Somewhere beyond the hills, a river murmurs quietly, carrying the whispers of the mountains and the sighs of the forest. You float with the cool air, and it feels tender, brushing softly against your cheeks. In the distance, the first hints of light begin to shimmer across the horizon. It is not yet the sun, only a gentle glow like candlelight spilling into the sky. Beneath this light, the earth hums, a low, steady sound that feels alive, that seems to speak in colors and fragrances. The soil smells of damp stone and blossoms, and even the smallest leaf glistens with dew, trembling with quiet devotion. Along the open fields, figures move slowly, with care and reverence. They are warriors, yes, but not hurried. Their steps are deliberate, soft upon the earth, as if each footfall is a prayer. Feathered headdresses sway gently with every movement, brushing petals from the low-growing flowers at their feet. Each flower seems to nod in greeting, releasing delicate scents that rise and mingle with the cool air. Soft drums begin in the distance, their rhythm steady, calm, and even. It is not a call to battle yet, only a heartbeat of the morning, a gentle pulse that rises with the sun yet to come. The sound spreads across the valley like warm mist, filling the space between temples, stones, and the trees. You drift closer, feeling the vibration in the soles of your feet, as if the earth itself is breathing in harmony with the ritual about to begin. The warriors gather near the edges of the sacred fields. Each one holds a small offering, a blossom, a feather, a ribbon dyed with sacred pigments. Their hands move with care, touching the objects to their foreheads, their hearts, their lips. The offerings are light, but their devotion is heavy with love. The air feels luminous around them, as if the morning itself pauses to witness these quiet acts of reverence. Above, the sky begins to soften from deep indigo to pale lavender. Clouds drift slowly, like brushstrokes of a gentle painter, their edges kissed with silver light. Tiny birds flutter from tree to tree, greeting the day with whispers of song. You follow them with your mind, letting each small chirp become a lullaby that travels down your spine, loosening tension, softening thought. A gentle breeze rises from the east, carrying the scent of jasmine and marigold. Petals lift from the earth, swirling softly around the warrior's feet like sparks of light. Some settle upon the ground, some cling to their robes, and some float upward, as if drawn by invisible hands toward the early sky. The movement is slow, deliberate, meditative, an unspoken reminder of the delicate balance between earth and heaven, life and spirit. In the heart of the field, a circle of stones has been arranged long ago. Each stone is smooth, worn by time, and each carries a quiet memory of generations past. The warriors step lightly around the circle, placing blossoms at its edges, creating patterns that feel like the heartbeat of the universe itself. You drift closer, noticing the way sunlight begins to touch each petal, turning red to gold, purple to silver. Everything glows softly, and the world seems to breathe just for this moment. A priest approaches, moving with slow certainty. His robes are pale as mist, and his hands carry a small, shallow bowl filled with water. The water reflects the morning sky, capturing the shimmer of stars that still cling to the horizon. The priest kneels and dips his fingers into the bowl, letting drops fall upon the stones, upon the petals, upon the earth itself. Each drop is a whisper, a blessing, a memory, a quiet promise. The land drinks it in without haste, and even the flowers seem to stand taller, their colors deepening, their fragrance more tender. The warriors begin to chant. Their voices are low, not loud or demanding, but soft and even, like the sound of distant wind moving through reeds. The chant is not hurried. It does not rise into urgency. Instead, it folds into the quiet, filling the space between heartbeats, weaving a calm tapestry across the valley. You feel it move through you, too, a warmth spreading in the chest, a gentle rhythm slowing the mind, softening the edges of thought. Each breath of the warriors aligns with the soft drum beats, the drifting petals, the hum of the earth. They move in small, careful circles, lifting their arms, bowing slightly, touching the ground, touching the sky. You drift among them, weightless, as if your spirit is a feather carried by the wind. The morning continues to grow, the first sliver of sun peeking above the horizon, spilling honey gold over hills and valleys. With this first light, the flower wars, meaning blooms quietly. These gentle acts, these movements of offering and devotion, are not just preparation for ceremony. They are prayers given to life itself. Each petal, each breath, each step carries reverence. Even the smallest flower feels significant, a vessel for the spirit. You realize that the sacredness is not in the battle, but in the honoring, in the quiet devotion that moves like water through every living thing. The priests move among the warriors, their hands brushing over shoulders, touching foreheads, and speaking words that are soft as candlelight. You cannot hear them clearly, and yet you understand the meaning. A gentle reminder to remember, to honor, to feel the pulse of life. The wind carries their words as soft vibrations, echoing along the hills, blending with the murmuring river, the distant calls of birds, the drumbeats, and the fragrance of blooms. As the sun rises fully, the sky turns pale rose and gold. Light dances upon the petals, catching on dew like scattered diamonds. The circle of stones glows, and the warrior's shadows stretch long and peaceful across the ground. The day has begun, but the world remains gentle, calm, and tender. You breathe in this moment, letting it fill your chest, your mind, your heart. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, only this soft, sacred presence. Slowly the warriors pause. Their hands rest upon the flowers, their hearts quiet. Even the drums cease, leaving only the soft whisper of wind, the gentle babbling of the river, the distant cries of birds waking in joy. You notice that time has slowed. Each moment stretches like a soft silk ribbon. The earth hums beneath your feet, and every petal seems to carry a memory, a prayer, a blessing. Let your eyes close gently, as if touched by the petals themselves. Let your mind drift across the valley, across the circle of stones, across the feathered headdresses and the soft, shining blossoms. Feel the warmth of morning, the whisper of the wind, the heartbeat of earth beneath your body. You are safe. You are held. You are part of this soft unfolding of devotion and calm. And as the warriors step quietly into the day, their hearts aligned with the sacred rhythm of life, you drift alongside them, weightless and free. The flower wars have begun in silence, in petals, in the tender offering of spirit to spirit. Every movement, every breath is a lullaby, a soft teaching in reverence and peace. Now rest. Let the whispers of dawn settle into your dreams. Let the petals of morning drift softly across your mind. The river continues to murmur, the birds continue to sing, and the world breathes gently around you. Let us drift onward, floating with the soft wind, resting in the light of the early sun, cradled by the quiet devotion of flowers, earth, and sky. The valley hums, the petals shine, the warriors bow, and you too float gently as the first day unfolds in calm, luminous peace. The morning light softens as it spills across the valley, brushing the edges of stone temples with tender gold. Each temple rises like a quiet guardian, its surface worn smooth by centuries of wind and sun. You float gently among the terraces, feeling the warmth of stone beneath your fingertips. The walls seem alive with whispers, as though the very earth speaks through the carved symbols, telling tales of devotion and calm. The steps are broad and steady, worn by countless feet that moved here long ago. Each stair feels like a gentle heartbeat beneath you, guiding your spirit upward. You move slowly as if the air itself has asked you to linger. Soft tendrils of incense curl upward from small braziers along the steps, carrying fragrances of copal and marigold. The smoke rises in thin spirals, delicate as a dancer's movement, and you follow it with your eyes, letting it lift your thoughts into quiet reflection. High above, the sun pours light over the temple tops, warming your shoulders as you walk. The carved stones glimmer softly, their faces etched with patterns of flowers, jaguars, and serpents. They tell stories not with words, but with rhythm and form, speaking to memory rather than reason. You float past them, your fingers brushing lightly against the smooth curves and ridges. There is a serenity here that invites stillness, a calm that feels like water moving slowly over stone. In the open courtyards, petals drift across the floor, carried by soft breezes. The flowers are gentle reminders of life's beauty, laid by hands long gone, yet their colors and scents persist. Some petals cling to the edges of statues, some float across pools of still water. The reflections ripple lightly, mirroring the sky and the silent spires above. You drift alongside these pools, letting your mind follow the soft movement of petals, drifting in quiet harmony with the temple itself. The air carries a distant, steady hum, almost imperceptible like the breath of the mountains. You notice the rhythm and feel it seep into your chest. Each inhale brings calm, each exhale releases tension. The temple is not silent, it speaks in subtle ways. The shifting of stones, the gentle fall of petals, the low vibration of wind moving through arches. Every sound is a soft invitation to slow, to breathe, to rest. Along the corridors, statues of past kings and priests stand quietly, carved in serene faces and folded hands. Their eyes are closed or gazing softly downward. They do not judge or demand. Instead, they offer presence. You pass them slowly, letting the calm settle deeper in your mind. Their stone forms are heavy, yet their effect is light, as if centuries of devotion have condensed into a gentle warmth that brushes your heart. Small altars sit in quiet corners. Each one holds flowers, shells, and offerings of fruit. A single candle flickers in the dim light, casting shadows that dance gently along the walls. The flame sways with a soft rhythm, and you follow it with your eyes as though it were a heartbeat of the temple itself. The smoke rises, spiraling upward, connecting the material world below with the vast sky above. You feel the bridge between earth and heaven, tangible and gentle, carrying your spirit higher. Steps lead you further upward, where terraces open onto wide views of the valley below. The morning sun casts long shadows from the temples, stretching like soft arms across the earth. From this height, you can see rivers glittering like silver ribbons, fields dotted with flowers, and distant mountains that rise quietly, majestic and patient. Every sight feels slow and deliberate, as if the world itself has paused to honor the sacred. The carvings on the walls seem to tell their stories in rhythm with the wind. Serpents coil softly around jaguars, birds perch silently among flowers, and the sun's face smiles gently from stone. You follow these patterns with your mind, letting the eye move slowly from one image to another, noticing every detail without hurry. The stones seem to breathe with a quiet memory, each line a gentle pulse, a reminder of devotion flowing through generations. In a quiet courtyard, a small fountain trickles water over smooth stones. The sound is delicate, almost a whisper. You sit nearby, letting your thoughts drift along with the ripples. The water mirrors the sky, capturing soft clouds in the first golden rays of sunlight. Tiny blossoms float on its surface, moving in endless circles. You imagine each petal carrying a prayer, rising with the water toward the sky, touching something unseen yet deeply comforting. A priest moves slowly through the temple, his steps light, his robes brushing softly against the stone floor. He carries a small bowl of water and gently sprinkles it along the paths, blessing each corner with quiet intention. The droplets catch the light, sparkling like tiny stars before they sink into the stone. You feel your heart soften with each motion, a gentle unfolding that mirrors the ritual around you. The air is rich with fragrance, marigold copal, soft earth afterdew. You drift through it, letting the scent sink into memory, carrying calm deeper into your body. Everywhere you look, there are small offerings. Feathers, flowers, ribbons tied carefully to poles or tucked into cracks in the stones. They seem to hum softly with devotion, each one a tender voice of the past, calling for nothing more than quiet presence. You wander toward the inner sanctum, where the walls curve higher and the air feels cooler, stiller. Here, shadows move softly across carvings of suns, moons, and stars. Each symbol is a gentle guide, a reminder of cycles of time flowing slowly and kindly. You rest your hand lightly on the smooth stone, feeling the weight of memory of generations who have walked this path before you. It is heavy in presence, light in heart. A single candle flickers here, casting long, trembling shadows that stretch across the floor. You watch the movement, letting it rock your thoughts into gentle sway. Each flicker is a soft sigh, a lullaby that hums through the room. The priest kneels, whispering prayers that blend with the air and stone, filling the temple with invisible threads of devotion. You feel the threads winding around your spirit, gentle and warm, guiding you toward rest. In the stillness of the temple, sunlight rises higher, brushing every surface with soft warmth. The carved stones seem to glow faintly, as though they remember the sun's touch from centuries past. The shadows retreat, the flowers brighten, and the temple breathes slowly, peacefully. You drift along with it, each breath syncing with the rhythm of stone, air, and gentle devotion. The courtyards, the terraces, the silent corridors, all hold a soft presence, an unspoken kindness. You walk without hurry, floating through spaces that have held prayers, dreams, and offerings for centuries. The world outside continues, yet inside these whispering stones, time stretches gently, and your spirit feels the calm weight of memory and care. As you reach the upper terraces, the wind lifts softly around you. Petals drift past your face, and the distant river glints silver in the sunlight. You feel the vastness of sky and earth, the temple beneath your feet, and the soft pulse of devotion rising through every stone. It is quiet here. It is gentle. It is enough. Now rest. Let the incense curl through your mind. Let the petals drift softly in memory. Let the temple's whispers carry your thoughts into calm rivers. You are held. You are safe. You are cradled in the soft, enduring presence of stone, sky, and devotion. Let us drift onward, past arches and steps, past carvings and candles, floating in quiet rhythm. Let the temples teach you the softness of time, the tenderness of memory, and the peace that rises when the heart is still. Now rest, as the stones hum gently beneath the morning sun, and the world breathes softly around you. The morning light filters gently across the valley, spilling gold and rose across the soft earth. The temples stand quietly, their stones warm with the memory of centuries, and the air carries the subtle scent of marigolds and incense. You drift along the edges of the open field, feeling the cool brush of grass beneath your feet, and the soft wind lifting the petals that dance like tiny stars in the air. From the distance, a gentle drum begins. Its rhythm is steady, calm, almost like a heartbeat. The sound travels slowly across the field, touching each leaf, each stone, each warrior who stands quietly waiting. The drums are not loud, they do not demand attention. They are an invitation, a lullaby of rhythm that moves the body and spirit alike, drawing all into gentle alignment with the morning. The warriors begin to stir, their motions slow and deliberate. They carry no anger, no urgency, only the soft grace of ceremony. Each footstep touches the ground lightly. Each arm rises with care, as if tracing invisible paths through the air. You watch them move, and your chest feels lighter, your breathing deepens. Your mind drifts with the gentle sway of their bodies. Their shields are held close, painted with bright flowers and delicate patterns that gleam in the sun. The warriors' wooden swords tap lightly against one another, producing soft, hollow notes. It is not the sound of battle, but the sound of devotion. Each tap is a prayer, each movement a hymn to the sacredness of life. You float alongside them, feeling the rhythm settle in your bones, slow and even, like the gentle rocking of a boat on still water. The circle of warriors expands, and you notice the symmetry of their formation. Every movement has space, every step carries balance. Their eyes are soft, their breaths even, their gestures full of care. They lift their arms to the sky, lower them to the earth, and sway with the wind. You drift among the patterns, tracing each curve and turn with your gaze, letting the motion fill your thoughts with calm, unbroken peace. Between movements, soft whispers of song float through the air. The chant is gentle, not commanding, blending with the low hum of the earth beneath. Each note carries a story, of courage without haste, of devotion without demand, of life offered softly as an act of beauty. You feel the song wrap around your heart, a warm, unseen cloak that holds you in quiet serenity. Sunlight pours across the field, touching the warriors' headdresses, making feathers shimmer in soft golds, reds, and greens. Every feather moves with the slightest breeze, like a slow, delicate wave. Petals drift across the ground, settling on shields and shoulders, lifting occasionally with a passing sigh of wind. You follow them with gentle attention, letting their soft dance carry your thoughts outward, away from worry into calm observation. The clash of wood on wood begins in measured cadence. Each sound is light, precise, deliberate, a soft punctuation in the flowing rhythm of ceremony. The warrior's eyes remain focused, yet calm. There is no haste, there is no fear. Only the rising, falling motion of arms, the careful pivot of feet, the harmony of hearts in sync with the drum and the breath of the earth. Between strikes, the air carries the scent of sweat and earth, mingled with blossoms and incense. It is grounding and soothing, a reminder of the human presence moving in rhythm with the divine. You feel your body respond unconsciously, shoulders relaxing, chest opening, as if the field itself is teaching the language of peace through movement. Some warriors kneel to place a flower at their feet, then rise slowly, letting their gesture flow into the next movement. Others turn in wide arcs, swords brushing against shields with soft music-like taps. Each action flows naturally into the next, creating a living pattern that moves across the field, as soft and enduring as river water over smooth stones. You drift along with it, weightless, letting each movement carry your thoughts like petals on a gentle stream. The sun rises higher, but the light feels tender, golden and soft rather than hot or harsh. Shadows stretch across the ground, dancing with the moving figures. You notice how the earth, the petals, the stone, and the warriors move together in harmony, a silent conversation between life and devotion. You float in that conversation, feeling a deep calm settle across your shoulders and down into your chest. A soft breeze carries the sound of distant birds, calling quietly to one another, weaving their song among the drumbeats and tapping wood. You follow their gentle melodies, noticing how each note rises and falls without urgency, how each tone blends into the rhythm of the field. The birds seem like small spirit guides, accompanying the warriors and guiding your thoughts into softness. The warriors begin a circle, arms lifted, feet gliding gently across the earth. The tapping of swords creates a soft lattice of sound that is almost hypnotic. Each breath they take is long and deliberate, each step in tune with the others. You feel your own breath slow, matching the rhythm, and your heartbeat softens, becoming part of the serene cadence. Small petals continue to drift, some brushing your skin softly as if to remind you of presence, of the moment. They settle briefly, then lift again on the wind. You follow their movements, letting your mind float without effort, tracing the petals, tracing the rhythm, tracing the dance that unfolds across the sacred field. The circle tightens and loosens like gentle waves. Shields rise, swords fall, arms sweep wide and close in soft arcs. Each movement is calm, intentional, reverent. There is no end, no rush, only flow, only devotion, only the soft, unfolding beauty of a ritual that honors life, spirit, and quiet courage. In the center of the field, a single warrior kneels, placing a small bowl of water on the ground. The sun reflects off the surface, turning it into a mirror of gold and sky. Petals drift gently into the bowl, floating softly as if carried by invisible hands. The warrior's hands brush lightly over the water, sending tiny ripples outward, and you feel the effect ripple through your own chest, carrying stillness and calm to every corner of your mind. The drumbeat slows, blending with the wind, the birds, and the soft whispers of petals against stone and earth. The warrior's movements become more gentle, flowing into long stretches and soft bows. They touch the earth lightly, lift their arms to the sky lightly, and fold into a stillness that feels like a shared breath, a quiet prayer of presence. You drift into that stillness, feeling your own body settle, your thoughts quiet, your heart held in gentle rhythm. The circle dissolves slowly. Warriors step back, kneel, and place their hands over hearts, bowing softly to the field, to the flowers, to the rhythm that carried them through ceremony. You drift past them, noticing the tenderness of their gestures, the care that permeates every movement. The field is still now, yet it holds the memory of motion, the echo of each tap, the lingering fragrance of blossoms and incense. Now rest. Let the rhythm of the dance linger in your mind. Let the petals float softly in memory. Let the soft drumbeats echo gently through your chest, carrying warmth and calm. You are cradled by the field, by the wind, by the devotion that moves through the warriors and the earth alike. Let us drift onward, past the echoes of tapping wood and brushing feathers, through the gentle rising of sun and shadow, floating with the calm of ritual and the softness of presence. Now rest, as the soft rhythm returns to stillness, and the field breathes quietly beneath golden light, holding you in peace. The morning air drifts gently across the valley, carrying the soft scent of marigolds and moist earth. The temples, standing tall and silent, glow with the warmth of the rising sun. Shadows stretch slowly across the carved stones, curling softly at their edges like quiet hands holding the earth. You float lightly along the pathways, feeling the delicate brush of petals on your fingers, their colors bright and serene in the tender light. The field is quiet now, yet full of gentle life. Petals drift softly across the ground, and the faint hum of distant drums blends with the whisper of wind through the trees. You follow the drifting flowers with your eyes, noticing how they catch the light, turning each tiny movement into a golden shimmer. The petals seem to float like small prayers, carried by the air, touching stone and leaf, earth and water alike. Near the heart of the valley, the warriors and priests gather. They hold blossoms in their hands, each flower chosen with care, each color and shape a message of reverence. The air hums softly as they kneel, letting petals brush the earth, letting small streams of water kiss the roots. The gestures are slow, deliberate, and tender, like the opening of a flower to the sun. You drift closer, feeling the soft rhythm of movement, each one a silent offering to life and spirit. The symbolic act begins. A petal is laid upon the altar, another upon the ground, and another gently placed within a small bowl of water. Each motion carries devotion, a quiet gift given freely. You notice that the giving is not sorrowful, it is luminous, filled with calm and love. Even in the act of offering, the petals bloom again in your mind, turning sacrifice into beauty, transforming the moment into a gentle teaching of balance and care. Soft incense rises, spiraling in thin, curling lines toward the heavens. The scent is warm and light, carrying whispers of devotion to the sky. You follow its rise, letting your breath match its gentle ascent. In the curling smoke, the air feels full of memory, of devotion, of quiet prayers carried across time. You notice how every gesture of offering is reflected in the light, the stone, the petals, and the rising smoke. Everything moves in calm harmony, a delicate symphony of presence. The priests speak softly, their voices low and flowing. Their words are not demanding. They are rivers of warmth, winding slowly through the air. You cannot hear each syllable clearly, yet you understand their essence. A call to honor, to witness, to recognize the quiet miracle of giving and receiving. Every petal laid, every drop of water sprinkled becomes a bridge between earth and sky, between heart and spirit. The field seems to breathe along with the ceremony. Petals lift and drift on the wind, circling the warriors, the priests, and the small altar at the center. Each movement is slow, fluid, a gentle echo of devotion. You drift along with them, your spirit weightless, flowing in rhythm with the petals, the wind, and the light. The sun's rays turn each petal into a tiny lantern, glowing softly in golds, reds, and purples. A single blossom is held carefully, its stem wet with morning dew. The warrior kneels and offers it to the altar, bowing softly as if the flower itself carries the prayers of the valley. You watch the petals float gently, resting upon stone and water, and you feel the quiet teaching of the moment. That giving even in small, simple acts carries profound beauty. Each flower is a bridge, each gesture a soft prayer, each heart aligned with the pulse of the sacred earth. The gentle hum of wind and distant drums continues, soft and unhurried. Petals scatter along the paths, some settling, some rising, carried by currents of air as if lifted by invisible hands. The act of sacrifice, so tender and precise, is not about loss but transformation. Each offering blooms in memory, in scent, in color, in the soft rising of devotion. You drift with the petals, letting your thoughts become soft and still, like water pooling quietly in a shaded corner. The priests move slowly among the warriors, their hands brushing lightly over shoulders, foreheads, and the small altars. Each gesture is filled with intention and care. You notice how the air shifts in response, warmer, softer, richer with quiet presence. Every drop of water, every touch of a petal, every slight bow carries a message of reverence and gentle love. The ceremony flows like a river, each moment a calm wave that carries the spirit forward, not with force, but with quiet guidance. A gentle breeze lifts petals into the air again. They spiral softly, some catching sunlight, some shadow, each floating as if in a slow dance. You follow their motion, letting it sweep away tension, letting it carry the edges of thought into gentle release. The petals drift across the field like scattered stars, each a tiny, luminous testament to devotion and presence. The offerings continue, small and deliberate. Flowers placed in water, petals brushed across stone, faint drops of sap and dew kissed by sunlight. Every gesture teaches balance. The giving and the receiving, the earth and the sky, the spirit and the body. You drift with this rhythm, your chest rising and falling in time with the slow, deliberate heartbeats of the field. Soft shadows stretch across the terraces, turning each stone into a gentle landscape of light and dark. The flowers rest upon them like memories made visible, glowing softly in the sun. Even the smallest blossom seems sacred, each curve and petal a meditation in color and form. You notice how the soft light embraces the offerings, lifting them, making them seem eternal and tender all at once. The priests kneel again, whispering prayers that drift on the wind, mingling with the scent of marigolds, incense, and earth. The sounds are soft, melodic, a lullaby for the field itself. You follow the cadence, letting it settle into your mind, letting your thoughts become quiet pools reflecting petals, stone, and sky. Every breath you take matches the gentle flow of the ceremony, every exhale a release, every inhalation a soft acceptance of peace. The sun rises higher, warming stone and flower alike. Petals glimmer in golds, reds, and purples, drifting toward small pools of water where they float like miniature lanterns. The air is rich with fragrance, alive with devotion, yet soft as the folds of a quiet blanket. You drift past the altars, past the warriors, past the priests, letting your spirit float alongside every gentle gesture. The final offerings are placed. Petals rest upon stone and water, feathers lie softly upon the ground, and ribbons sway lightly in the morning breeze. The circle of the field feels complete, a quiet pulse of devotion and love. The flowers, once separate, now form a gentle tapestry across the earth, a soft reflection of every heart that moved in harmony with ritual and purpose. Now rest. Let the petals drift in your mind, floating softly across gentle waters, across warm stones, and beneath soft skies. Let the fragrance of devotion fill your senses. Let the rhythm of slow, deliberate giving carry you into calm. You are cradled by the sacred field, by the soft wind, by the whispers of petals and stone. Let us drift onward, past the flowers and the pools, past the soft light and the incense smoke, floating with quiet hearts and gentle breath. Now rest, as the petals settle, as the air becomes still, and the morning sun holds the valley in luminous, peaceful embrace. The morning sun casts a gentle glow over the temple terraces. Each stone reflects a warm, golden light that seems to rise from within, soft and calm. You drift slowly along the pathways, feeling the smooth edges of carved stone beneath your fingertips. The air is fragrant with marigolds and the soft smoke of incense, curling upward in delicate spirals. Every breath is slow, steady, carrying calm deeper into your chest. From the open courtyard, a soft melody begins to rise. The chants are low and even, wrapping around the terraces like warm, flowing wind. They do not demand attention. Instead, they invite the heart to listen, the mind to rest, and the spirit to float freely. You follow the sound as it moves across the stones, drifting through columns and arches, filling every corner with quiet resonance. Warriors and priests step into the sunlight, their headdresses gleaming with colors of deep red, bright yellow, and soft green. Each feather catches the light, turning with a gentle shimmer that seems almost like liquid movement. You notice how the feathers sway with the slightest breath of wind, each tilt and curve a soft gesture, a silent song offered to the sun and sky. The chants rise and fall like gentle waves. You feel them moving through the air and into your chest, a soft vibration that slows the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Every note is a small pulse, each one carrying devotion and presence. You watch as the singers bow slowly, their voices merging into a single, flowing tide of sound, a song that rises like mist and settles like dew. Feathers are brushed lightly against the shoulders and arms of the dancers, catching sunlight as they move. You drift alongside them, noticing the grace of every gesture. Their feet glide across the terraces in gentle arcs, their movements a living echo of the rhythm in the song. Even the smallest motion feels significant, like a soft offering that carries the weight of devotion without effort. The chants weave with the sound of soft percussion. Wooden drums tapped lightly, their rhythm steady and calm. The combination of voice and drum is soothing, like wind moving across still water. You let your eyes follow the patterns of movement, tracing the arcs of feathers, the rise and fall of arms, the gentle sway of bodies in slow, deliberate harmony. Each movement and sound blend seamlessly, creating a quiet symphony that rests on your spirit. In the center of the courtyard, a priest raises his arms, letting the sunlight catch the edges of his headdress. Tiny feathers quiver in the light, releasing their colors into the morning air. You drift closer, feeling the soft warmth of the sun, the delicate scent of flowers, the gentle vibration of the sacred song. It is as if the entire temple breathes along with the music, every stone and petal moving in calm resonance. Petals drift across the courtyard, carried on the soft wind. Some settle gently on the stone terraces, others cling to the edges of the dancers' headdresses. The colors of flowers and feathers mingle in quiet harmony, creating a living tapestry that shifts with each step and breath. You watch as a single petal glides past your face, brushing softly against your skin, and you feel the quiet blessing of presence, of attention, of tender care. The dancers circle slowly, arms lifted, bodies swaying like reeds in a gentle stream. Each turn is deliberate, each step a soft punctuation in the flowing rhythm of song. You follow the curve of their movements, feeling the gentle lift of the air as feathers move through it, feeling the warmth of sunlight as it glances off smooth stone and soft plumage. The energy is not rushed. It is soft, patient, and endlessly flowing. The chants carry subtle stories, rising and falling like a calm tide. You may not hear every word, yet you feel the meaning, reverence, devotion, connection. Each note seems to touch an unseen part of the heart, a quiet space that rests, that opens, that receives. You drift with the song, letting it move through your mind as lightly as feathers drift through the air. A slow drumbeat begins beneath the chants, echoing softly in the stones. You feel it beneath your feet, as though the temple itself joins in the rhythm, carrying the pulse of devotion from earth to sky. The dancers' steps match the drum, their arms sweeping in wide, gentle arcs. Each movement is careful, precise, yet fluid, a soft weaving of presence and grace. You float alongside them, weightless, letting every gesture teach calm, every motion guide stillness. The courtyard feels alive yet serene, filled with movement, sound, and scent, yet not overwhelming. Feathers shimmer in sunlight, petals drift like slow currents, incense rises in spirals, and the chants wrap around everything like soft warmth. You notice how the dancers' eyes are gentle, their faces calm, how every breath they take seems synchronized with the song, with the wind, with the earth beneath them. Small bowls of water rest along the edges of the terraces. Some dancers pause, lightly dipping fingers into the water and letting it drip over petals, over stone, over feathers. Each drop sparkles briefly in sunlight, as if carrying a soft prayer with it. You drift with the movement of water, letting it flow through your mind, smoothing thought and tension, carrying your spirit into quiet alignment with the temple and its song. The circle of dancers tightens slowly, then spreads again, creating a rhythm that is both patterned and flowing. Each arm rises, each foot glides, each feather catches light. The song rises, a gentle wave that lifts and settles in infinite patience. You feel yourself lifted with it, your thoughts quieting, your body relaxing, your mind drifting into the soft rhythm of movement and sound. Petals float across the courtyard again, mingling with feathers and sunlight. The dancers pause briefly, bowing to the ground, to the air, to each other. You notice how every gesture carries intention and calm, how every step is soft, deliberate, like the petals settling gently on the stone. The temple seems to hold every movement, every sound, every scent in tender memory. The chant fades slightly, merging with the wind and the distant drum. The dancers' movement slow, stretching gently into long, flowing gestures. Arms sweep wide and fold into stillness. Feathers quiver softly. Sunlight touches every surface. You drift in the quieting rhythm, feeling the song settle into every part of yourself. A soft, luminous presence that hums in your chest and mind. The courtyard becomes still. Petals rest softly on stone. Feathers shimmer faintly in the remaining light. Incense curls slowly into the air, carrying faint echoes of the song skyward. You float gently among the stillness, noticing the warmth of sunlight, the smoothness of stone, the quiet pulse of the temple beneath you. Every detail is soft, deliberate, comforting. Now rest. Let the colors of feathers linger in your mind. Let the gentle rhythm of song settle into your chest. Let petals drift slowly in memory, floating like tiny lanterns across calm water. You are held in the temple's soft embrace, in the warmth of sunlight, in the delicate harmony of chant, drum, feather, and flower. Let us drift onward, past the terraces, past the bowls of water, past the soft shimmer of feathers and petals, floating gently in rhythm with the sacred song. Now rest, as the air settles, as the chants quiet, and the universe hums softly with tender heartbeat, holding you in endless calm. The first light of dawn stretches softly across the sacred fields. Dew rests on every blade of grass, each droplet catching the sun like a tiny lantern. You drift along the edges of the fields, feeling the cool earth beneath your feet and the gentle sway of flowers brushing against your legs. The air carries the scent of blossoms and soft earth, warm and grounding. From the distant hills, a slow drumbeat rises, steady and calm. It travels across the fields like a warm current, touching every petal, every stone, every tree that leans quietly toward the morning light. The sound is gentle, unhurried, carrying with it a pulse of patience and devotion. You float along with the rhythm, letting it settle into your chest and slow the beat of your own heart. Warriors appear quietly along the boundaries of the field, moving with measured grace. Their steps are soft, barely touching the earth, and each movement is deliberate, flowing naturally into the next. They hold small wooden shields and light, flexible swords, decorated with feathers and flowers that shimmer in the morning light. You notice how each feather glows softly, reflecting the sun's warmth, and how every gesture is filled with calm presence. The flower war begins not with force, but with rhythm. Warriors move in circular patterns, their steps tracing arcs that echo the curves of petals falling from nearby trees. Each swing of a sword, each gentle tap against a shield produces a soft sound, like wood on wood, light and musical. It is not battle as the world knows it. It is ceremony, a living dance that honors life, devotion, and the harmony between heaven and earth. Petals drift across the field, carried by the soft wind. Some settle on shields, some cling to the edges of armor, some float gently to the ground. Each petal is an offering, a bridge between earth and sky, carrying with it the intention of the warrior and the blessing of the field. You follow their gentle descent, feeling a wave of calm move through your body with each drifting flower. The soft drumbeat continues, blending with the whisper of wind through the grass. You notice how the warrior's breathing aligns with the rhythm, long and even, each inhale and exhale a prayer. They move together, a slow wave of presence across the fields, each step a meditation, each gesture a quiet testament to devotion. You drift alongside them, weightless, letting the calm settle in your mind like warm sunlight on smooth stone. In the center of the field, a circle forms. Warriors bow slowly to one another, then rise in unison, carrying flowers in their hands. Petals are scattered gently onto the ground, forming soft carpets of color. You drift among the circle, noticing the tender care in each movement, the calm intention that flows from every gesture. The energy here is not tense. It is nurturing, reverent, and deeply serene. The dance of the flower war flows like water over smooth stones. Each clash of wood is soft, rhythmic, more like a song than combat. You feel the energy ripple across the field, calm and even, like wind moving across a lake at dawn. Every step, every swing, every breath aligns with the pulse of the earth beneath the warrior's feet. You float in that rhythm, letting it carry you gently into quiet presence. Some warriors kneel, placing flowers upon small altars set across the field. The petals shimmer in the light, soft as whispers. The gesture is not hurried. It is full of care, intention, and devotion. You drift closer, sensing the gentle energy rising from the petals, the earth, the stones, and the warriors themselves. Every offering becomes a quiet lesson. That devotion and care can bloom even in acts of ritualized movement. That peace exists within every gesture. The wind lifts petals again, carrying them in spirals that mirror the arcs of the dancers' bodies. Each feathered headdress glows with sunlight as dancers sway, arms extended like branches of a tree reaching for sky. The petals float like tiny lanterns, guiding your eyes along slow, soothing paths. You follow their motion, letting it sweep away tension, letting it carry the edges of thought into gentle release. Across the field, small bowls of water glimmer softly in sunlight. Warriors dip their fingers, letting drops fall onto petals, onto stone, onto shields. Each drop sparkles briefly, sending gentle ripples through the water and into the quiet energy of the field. You drift along with the ripples, feeling them smooth the edges of thought and pull your mind toward soft stillness. The drumbeat slows, blending with the murmur of the wind and the faint rustle of petals across stone. Warriors move with even greater deliberation, gestures long and flowing, arms sweeping wide and folding back into calm bows. The air is thick with devotion, light with presence, scented with blossoms, yet it is soft, never overwhelming. You float alongside, weightless, carried by rhythm, scent, and sight. A gentle sunbeam falls across the central circle, illuminating the petals, shields, and feathers with warm, golden light. You notice how even the smallest flower seems sacred, each curve and color a quiet reflection of presence. Every step, every movement, every gesture of the flower war carries the soft teaching of harmony, that life and ritual, devotion and presence can coexist in delicate balance. Petals drift across the field again, mingling with feathers and sunlight, settling softly on stone and ground. The warriors pause, bowing to the earth, the sky, and each other. The rhythm of the ceremony slows, becoming a gentle, continuous flow of calm. You drift with the rhythm, feeling the pulse of devotion settle into your chest, your breathing aligned with the soft, measured beat of the drum and the sway of bodies across the field. The final movements unfold slowly. Warriors kneel, placing their flowers gently in small altars and bowls of water. Petals settle softly on shields and stones. Feathers quiver gently in the wind, Sunlight glimmers across every surface. You float among them, noticing the quiet devotion, the serene presence, the soft flow of ritual and care. Every gesture carries peace, every breath carries calm, every movement carries harmony. Now rest. Let the gentle rhythm of the flower war linger in your mind. Let the petals drift softly, floating across smooth stones and sunlit water. Let the harmony of ritual and devotion settle into your chest, carrying warmth and stillness. You are cradled by the sacred fields, by the soft wind, by the quiet presence of warriors, flowers, and sunlit stones. Let us drift onward, past the petals and the bowls of water, past the soft shimmer of feathers and sunlight, floating gently with the rhythm of breath and calm. Now rest, as the air becomes still, as the drums fade, and the field holds the sacred memory of peace, devotion, and harmony. The sun dips gently toward the horizon, painting the sky with soft streaks of pink, amber, and lavender. You drift across the open fields, where the echoes of the flower war have settled into quiet stillness. The earth beneath your feet is soft, the air cool, carrying the delicate scent of blossoms and warm soil. A gentle wind stirs, lifting petals from the ground, carrying them slowly into the vast sky above. You follow the petals as they rise, drifting effortlessly with the breeze. Each one turns and twirls like a dancer, casting shadows on the stones and the soft grass below. Some swirl in tight spirals, others glide lazily, tracing arcs of light and shadow across the land. They are small, fragile, and fleeting, yet each seems perfect in its path, a brief meditation of grace and impermanence. Across the fields, the last of the warriors pause, standing quietly as they watch the petals lift. Their movements are slow, deliberate, respectful. There is no rush, no tension, only the quiet acceptance of time and change. The flowers they have offered, once symbols of devotion in the ritual, now float upward, becoming gentle messengers to the sky, carrying whispers of prayer and memory. You notice how the wind carries each petal differently, some climbing higher, others settling slowly back to the earth. Each path is unique, yet all follow the same gentle flow. It is a lesson in the impermanence of life, the fleeting nature of beauty, and the quiet peace that comes from letting go. You drift alongside them, your thoughts slowing, your mind softening, your spirit floating freely in the open air. The horizon glows with a soft, golden light, and the petals catch it, reflecting hues of coral, amber, and violet. Some petals touch the tips of the tallest grass, some land gently on stones, some continue their upward journey into the open sky. Each movement is a quiet meditation, a reminder that all moments, no matter how brief, carry their own perfect meaning. From a distance, you hear the faint rhythm of a drum, slow and soft, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. It is steady and calm, guiding the wind, guiding the petals, guiding your breathing. You breathe in with the rise of the petals, exhale with their gentle descent, letting your body sway in time with the invisible currents around you. The petals drift over small pools of water, reflecting the fading sunlight. Their reflections shimmer like small stars on the surface, moving slowly with ripples of water. You follow their mirrored dance, letting each gentle shift guide your thoughts into quiet reflection. Here, impermanence becomes gentle, beauty becomes soft, and the mind drifts into serene awareness. Some petals touch one another as they glide, drifting together for a moment before separating again. They brush against blades of grass, feathered headdresses, and scattered stones, leaving small touches of color, light, and presence in their path. Each touch is fleeting, yet it leaves an imprint on the world, soft and subtle, a quiet echo of devotion and grace. Above, the sky deepens into soft purples and blues. The wind carries the petals higher, spiraling them toward the clouds. You float alongside them, weightless, letting the wind guide your spirit. The world below becomes quiet, still, a gentle cradle of memory and devotion. Every petal is a reminder of life's tender rhythm. Each beginning, each ending, each soft movement, each quiet breath. You drift over the fields, where the altars and bowls of water glimmer faintly in the twilight. Petals land lightly, some forming soft, scattered patterns on the ground. Even in their descent, they remain graceful, turning ordinary spaces into fleeting sanctuaries of color and light. The wind lifts new petals from the earth, and the dance continues, endless and patient, like the slow, steady unfolding of evening into night. Soft chants rise from the distant temple, harmonizing with the whispering wind. They are low and even, blending with the rustle of petals and the faint lap of water in shallow pools. You feel the sound carry through your chest, softening tension, slowing thought, and opening your awareness to the gentle rhythm of life. Every note becomes a small anchor, every breath a soft echo of devotion. As night draws near, the petals glow faintly in the soft light, their colors muted yet serene. Some drift to rest among the stones, some glide across water, some continue toward the horizon where sky and earth meet. You notice how every path, though fleeting, is meaningful, a small moment of beauty and presence that teaches the quiet art of letting go. A lone feather catches your eye, lifted alongside the petals. It floats softly, mirroring the gentle arcs of the flowers. You follow its path, tracing the slow, deliberate curves, letting it guide your awareness deeper into calm. Its journey is simple, unhurried, yet full of grace, a perfect reflection of the lessons carried by every drifting petal. The wind eases and the petals begin to settle, touching earth, water, and stone. They lie softly, scattered across the fields like memories of devotion left behind. You drift gently among them, noticing their colors, their shapes, their soft presence, feeling the calm they bring. Every petal seems to hold a quiet story, a gentle whisper of the sacred moments just past. The chants grow fainter, blending seamlessly with the stillness of twilight. The air is warm and soft, scented with flowers, and every breath you take matches the slow settling of the petals. You feel a quiet gratitude for the impermanence, for the grace, for the fleeting beauty that passes yet leaves a soft impression on the heart. Now rest. Let the petals drift in your mind, floating softly across fields, water, and stone. Let their gentle movements carry your thoughts into stillness. Their soft colors warm your spirit. Their fleeting presence remind you of the quiet flow of life. You are held in the calm embrace of wind, flower, and memory. Let us drift onward, past the fields, past the pools, past the soft shimmer of petals in the evening breeze, floating with gentle awareness and quiet peace. Now rest as the stars begin to awaken, as the night sky holds the petals in luminous calm, and your spirit floats in tender stillness. Twilight rests softly over the temples, painting every stone with shades of rose and lavender. You drift along the quiet pathways where the shadows stretch long and gentle. The air carries the faint scent of burning incense, delicate and warm, curling upward in thin, silent spirals. Here in this stillness, every sound is magnified yet calm. A bird landing softly on a branch, a leaf trembling in the breeze, the low murmur of voices carrying a sacred rhythm. From the central temple, you hear the first whispers of prayer. They are soft, almost like the rustle of wind across the water, yet they carry weight in their gentle persistence. Each syllable floats through the air, touching the stones and the earth, moving through the columns like light brushing against shadow. You drift closer, weightless, carried by the quiet energy of devotion that surrounds the place. The priests move slowly, their steps deliberate and unhurried. Their hands trace patterns through the air, offering blessings in the smallest, most graceful gestures. They kneel, bow, and lift their arms in sequences that echo the cycles of sun and moon, wind and water. Each movement is small, measured, and calm, and yet it radiates presence. You feel the rhythm of their actions in your own chest, a subtle pulse that draws your awareness into gentle focus. Their voices rise again, whispering softly in a language older than the stones themselves. The words are a quiet tide, carrying meaning beyond comprehension, beyond need for understanding. You float with them, letting each sound settle into your mind, softening thoughts, quieting concerns, and opening a space where only calm exists. You notice the details around you, the smooth texture of carved stones under your fingertips, the warmth of sun-warmed steps, the delicate light glinting off small pools of water that reflect the twilight sky. Even these quiet objects seem to respond to the whispered prayers, as if the world itself is listening and bowing in reverent calm. In a small alcove, a priest kneels beside a bowl of water. His fingers ripple the surface gently, and the reflections shimmer with soft light. He whispers blessings into the water, and you feel the words spread through the quiet space, touching each petal, each feather, each stone with the subtle energy of devotion. You drift closer, feeling your breathing align with the slow, tender rhythm of his prayers. The priest's gestures are mirrored in the gentle sway of the temple's hanging banners. They flutter softly, responding to the tiniest currents of air, a silent accompaniment to the whispers that fill the halls. You watch the interplay of motion and stillness, and it draws your mind into the present, into the delicate rhythm of simple awareness. A candle flickers nearby, its flame soft and warm, casting light that dances across the priest's robes and the smooth stones beneath them. The movement of the flame is hypnotic, a quiet meditation in itself. You float alongside it, letting its gentle glow warm your spirit and soften the edges of the day, carrying you deeper into calm. The whispers continue, a quiet river flowing through the temple. Each word is like a droplet, small yet meaningful, joining the others in a slow, steady current of devotion. You drift with it, noticing how the sound seems to expand and contract with the breathing of the priests, the pulsing of the earth, the soft sway of the trees outside. Every breath becomes a prayer, every exhale a release of tension, every heartbeat a subtle echo of reverence. You pass a corridor lined with small altars, each holding offerings of flowers, fruits, and small carved stones. The priests move from one to another, bowing gently, tracing soft patterns over each gift. Their whispers touch every object, transforming simple materials into sacred presence. You feel the quiet power of attention and care, noticing how even the smallest gesture carries profound serenity. Outside, the wind moves gently through the temple courtyard. You watch petals stirred from nearby flowers, drifting slowly across the stone paths. The priest's whispers continue, carried softly on the breeze, weaving through branches, glinting water, and smooth stone. You follow their movement with your awareness, letting it guide your own spirit into gentle stillness. A distant drum begins, slow and low, blending seamlessly with the whispers. Its rhythm is calm, a heartbeat that underlies the gentle cadence of prayer. You feel the drum in your chest, steady and grounding, carrying you deeper into the quiet meditation of presence. Each whisper, each movement, each soft beat of the drum becomes part of a tender, continuous flow that cradles the spirit. The priests pause briefly, resting in their kneeling positions. Silence fills the temple for a moment, yet it is full of life. The rustle of leaves, the soft hum of wind, the faint shimmer of candlelight on stone. You drift in this space, noticing the sacred quiet, feeling your body and mind slow, aligning with the gentle pulse of the temple and the earth. A new series of prayers begins, and the priest's voices rise slightly, still soft, still warm, weaving a tapestry of sound that touches every corner of the temple. The words flow with a gentle insistence, teaching patience, reverence, and the quiet strength found in subtlety. You let the sound wash over you, letting every syllable become a small wave of calm, every phrase a soft echo in the mind. You float among them, drifting past altars and columns, past small pools and candles, past the soft sway of banners and the flutter of petals in the wind. Every element joins the sacred rhythm of prayer, a quiet symphony of presence that asks for nothing and offers everything. Your thoughts soften, your body feels lighter, your spirit open to the gentle energy surrounding you. In a corner, a priest dips his hands into water, lifting droplets slowly and letting them fall over small stones and flowers. The whispers continue, accompanying the movement with soft, melodic tones. You follow the path of the water, tracing its arc with your awareness, feeling it connect to every petal, every stone, every breath you take. The rhythm of water, whisper, and wind becomes a lullaby, cradling you in quiet peace. The sun sets fully, casting long shadows across the temple courtyard. Candlelight glows brighter now, flickering gently against the stones and robes. The priests continue their whispered prayers, soft and even, guiding the moment into evening, guiding your mind into calm presence. You drift with them, weightless, letting the words settle into your heart, each syllable a soft embrace of serenity. Time slows here. The world outside fades into a gentle hush. Every sound, every movement, every soft flicker of light becomes part of a unified, peaceful rhythm. You feel your body sway gently with it, your breathing lengthening and deepening, your mind quieting, your spirit resting in the sacred current of the temple. Now rest. Let the whispers carry you, gentle and steady, through corridors and courtyards, past candles, pools, altars, and petals. Let the warmth of devotion settle into your chest, the soft rhythm of prayer in your mind, the calm of presence in every breath. You are cradled by the sacred voice, floating in quiet awareness, safe and serene. Let us drift onward, past the candles and the pools, past the soft flicker of robes and banners, floating with gentle awareness and quiet peace. Now rest as the stars return, as the temple breathes quietly around you, and your spirit floats in tender stillness. Twilight softens the edges of the world as you drift along the riverbank. The water is still, calm, and clear, reflecting the fading colors of the sky above. Gentle blues, muted pinks, and soft, lingering gold. You move slowly, almost weightless, feeling the earth beneath your feet give way to soft grass and smooth stones. A cool breeze ripples across the surface, carrying the faint scent of flowers and warm earth. Every sound is hushed, every motion deliberate, like the world itself is exhaling after a long day. Along the river, the last of the warriors pause. They kneel near the water, their reflections mirrored perfectly in the gentle current. Their armor is quiet now, no longer clashing or stamping, only the faint rustle of cloth and the soft thrum of their breath. You float beside them, your awareness stretching gently with the rhythm of their movements, each breath slowing in harmony with the river. The priests sit nearby, draped in their flowing robes, eyes softly closed. Their hands rest lightly on the water's edge, fingers barely disturbing the mirrored surface. Whispers rise from their lips, low and even, merging with the gentle lap of the river. Each word seems to ripple outward, touching the stones, the petals, the warriors, and you, a soft current of calm and presence. The river moves slowly, carrying reflections of clouds and stars, blending them into an endless painting of light and shadow. You watch as small ripples form when a leaf drifts from the trees above, tracing delicate circles across the mirrored sky. Every ripple expands outward, softening the boundaries between water and air, between reflection and reality. You drift with them, your mind settling into quiet awareness, your spirit floating freely above and within the gentle flow. Nearby, a petal falls lightly onto the water's surface. It floats, turning slowly, catching the last gold of the sun. The priests' whispers rise again, joining the murmur of the river, and you feel the union of sound and movement wrap around your awareness like a soft cloak. The petal drifts past stones, over shallow pools, toward the open stream, carrying its quiet presence with grace and serenity. You notice how the river mirrors everything without judgment. Stones, leaves, feathers, petals, even the soft gaze of the warriors, all reflected perfectly, yet without holding them. Each moment passes gently across the surface, teaching the quiet art of letting be. You breathe slowly, in time with the river, noticing how stillness and reflection can hold space for thought, for feeling, for gentle presence. A small bird alights on a branch overhanging the river. Its reflection doubles in the water, a mirror of soft feathers and delicate movement. The priests whisper again, and the sound seems to echo across the ripples, touching even the bird. You watch as it lifts lightly, gliding over the mirrored sky, a reminder of freedom, of grace, of the tender way the world holds every small life. The warriors rise slowly, each movement deliberate. Their reflection stretches across the water, soft and elongated. They do not speak, they do not rush. Every motion is a meditation, a small offering of awareness to the river, to the sky, to the quiet world surrounding them. You float with their shadows, feeling the calm spread from the water into your own spirit, softening thought, slowing heart, and stilling the breath. The river carries fallen petals, ripples, and leaves downstream, merging everything into a quiet harmony. You drift with the current, noticing how the water accepts all without resistance, how it moves with patience and gentle flow. Each moment is soft, each reflection full, each movement a quiet lesson in presence. The priests kneel once more, fingertips skimming the water. Their whispers rise and fall like a slow tide, and the mirrored sky bends and shimmers beneath them. You notice how the reflected clouds shift gently, unhurried, like soft thoughts passing through the mind. Patience becomes visible, a quiet movement of the soul, mirrored perfectly in the stillness of the river. A stone rolls slowly into the water, barely disturbing the surface. Tiny ripples form and expand, touching the petals, reflections, and sky alike. The priests' voices seem to harmonize with the sound, soft and unhurried. You drift alongside the ripples, feeling how even a small movement can carry gentle presence outward, touching all that it meets. The river widens as it flows, carrying shadows of trees, warriors, and priests in its mirrored expanse. Every reflection bends slightly with the current, reminding you that stillness and movement coexist. You float with this understanding, letting the soft duality of reflection and flow ease your mind. You feel the river's lesson. Everything moves, everything rests, and every moment is enough exactly as it is. Small candles flicker along the banks, their reflections shimmering in the water. Their light dances gently across stones, robes, and ripples, casting a glow that is soft, warm, and steady. The priests' whispers wrap around the candlelight, a gentle embrace of sound and illumination, and you feel yourself drawn into the luminous calm. The evening deepens and the river darkens slightly, reflecting the soft purple of the sky. Stars begin to appear, mirrored in the water as tiny points of gentle light. You watch as each star's reflection shivers with a ripple, a quiet reminder that even the smallest movements leave beauty in their wake. The whispers of the priests continue, low and melodic, guiding your awareness into a peaceful, reflective rhythm. A warrior kneels near the river, tracing patterns in the sand at the water's edge. Each gesture is slow, deliberate, meditative. The movement sends faint ripples across the mirrored sky, merging stone, water, and reflection into quiet harmony. You drift beside him, following each gentle curve, each soft imprint, and feel the calm deepen, a rhythmic pulse of presence settling into your being. The priests move slowly among the candles and reflections, offering soft words, gentle touches, and subtle gestures of devotion. Their presence is steady, unhurried, like the river itself. You notice how the whispers seem to settle into your chest, your heart, your breath, until every part of you aligns with the quiet rhythm of the water, the wind, and the night. Petals continue to drift downstream, some touching stones, others floating freely across mirrored skis. You follow their path, letting each delicate movement teach patience and acceptance. There is no rush, no expectation, only the gentle unfolding of flow, reflection, and soft light. You float with them, each ripple and shimmer a meditation on time, impermanence, and gentle presence. The night deepens fully and the river glows with soft moonlight. Every reflection shimmers faintly, the priest's whispers now blending with the sound of wind, water, and soft rustle of leaves. You feel the harmony of earth, water, and sky fold around you, every breath slowing, every thought softening, every pulse resting in serene calm. Now rest. Let the river carry your awareness, gentle and steady, along its mirrored path. Let the soft movement of water, petals, and whispers guide you into quiet reflection, into the tender calm of night. You are cradled by the gentle flow, the stillness of mirrored skis, and the soft presence of devotion all around you. Let us drift onward past the stones, past the petals, past the flickering reflections in the water, floating with gentle awareness and quiet peace. Now rest as the stars deepen, as the river flows slowly, and your spirit floats in tender stillness. The first light of morning spreads softly across the valley. You drift along a gentle path, where dew rests lightly on the grass, sparkling like tiny stars under the tender gaze of the sun. Each ray moves slowly, stretching across stones and petals, warming the earth with its quiet, golden glow. The air is soft, filled with the scent of morning flowers and sun-warmed soil. Even the distant mountains seem to inhale and exhale with the rhythm of daybreak. The valley awakens in a gentle hum. Birds stir in the trees, their song delicate and unhurried, a soft echo of the sun's arrival. You follow the sound, your steps slow and unforced, noticing how every breath of wind carries warmth and light. The sun climbs higher, its touch brushing across the faces of the warriors and priests already gathered for their morning rituals. Each movement is serene, deliberate, a quiet dialogue between spirit and earth. Priests stand at the edge of a stone platform, their robes catching the morning light, soft folds glowing in gentle gold. They lift their hands slowly, palms open to the sky, and the sunlight seems to linger there like a tender gift. Their whispers rise, low and melodic, mingling with the rustle of leaves and the soft murmur of a nearby stream. Every word is an offering, each syllable a bridge between earth and the warm embrace of the sun. Warriors kneel nearby, adorned in subtle patterns of feathers and cloth that catch the light with a quiet shimmer. They move slowly, brushing their hands across sacred stones, leaving offerings of flowers, seeds, and water. The sun touches each petal, each stone, each gesture, illuminating devotion without haste or judgment. You drift alongside them, noticing how the golden warmth wraps around every motion, softening edges and filling the valley with stillness and grace. The sun climbs higher, spilling warmth across the hills. Shadows retreat quietly, folding into themselves, while the river reflects the light in gentle, sparkling ribbons. You watch petals float on the surface, turning slowly with the current, kissed by sunlight. Their journey is quiet, unhurried, a meditation in color and movement. Each ripple seems to whisper patience, teaching you to rest in the natural flow of life. The priests kneel beside the riverbank, fingers tracing delicate patterns in the sand. Each pattern glows as the sun touches it, highlighting intricate shapes that mirror the harmony of nature. Their whispers rise and fall like the rhythm of water, echoing softly through the valley. You feel the serenity of the moment deepen with every note, every gentle breath, every reflection shimmering in the sunlit water. Soft drums begin, distant and gentle as the warriors rise. Each movement is careful, a slow dance of devotion. Shields and wooden staffs brush lightly against one another, producing sounds that are more melody than noise. The rhythm is not hurried, not forceful, simply a heartbeat in tune with the valley, with the sun, with your own breath. You drift alongside this quiet cadence, letting the warmth of golden light guide your mind into calmness. A petal drifts from the top of a flowering tree, its fall slow and graceful. Sunlight rests upon it like a tender hand, highlighting every curve and edge. You watch as it touches the river, floating gently with the current, carrying a soft reflection of light across the mirrored surface. Each ripple it creates spreads outward, connecting the stones, the priests, the warriors, and you in a gentle embrace of quiet awareness. The priests move slowly through the morning light, collecting small offerings, arranging flowers in patterns that echo the sun's movement across the sky. Their whispers are soft, rising in a gentle chant that seems to pull the warmth into every corner of the valley. You feel the calm spread through you as if the sun itself were moving through your chest, softening thought, slowing breath, and filling your spirit with serene presence. Warriors stand in small circles, offering small gestures of respect to the earth, the sun, and each other. Each motion is a quiet reflection, a prayer without words. The sun casts soft golden lines across their faces and feathers, highlighting devotion without fanfare. You notice the harmony in every gesture, the gentle bending of knees, the tilt of a head, the soft brush of hands across stone, and it feels like a language made only for the heart. Along the river, water shimmers with sunlight. Every ripple catches a tiny spark of gold, each reflecting the sky, the petals, the warriors, the priests, and your own soft presence within the valley. The The current moves with patient grace, carrying petals, small offerings, and reflections downstream. You float with it, sensing the unity of movement and stillness, the quiet lesson of gentle flow and peaceful surrender. The priests lift their arms toward the sun once again, and a hush falls across the valley. Every sound becomes more subtle, the soft murmur of leaves, the distant hum of water, the faint shimmer of sunlight on feathers. Their whispers fold into the warmth, creating a soft blanket of devotion and care that wraps the valley. You feel it settling around you, a gentle protection, a quiet invitation to rest and be present in this golden serenity. A single flower floats along the river, its petals reflecting sunlight in soft blush tones. You follow it as it drifts past smooth stones, over shallow pools and beneath arched branches. Each curve of its movement seems guided by unseen hands of patience and grace. You drift alongside, inhaling the faint scent, sensing the gentle reminder that every offering, every gesture, is touched by the warmth of divine presence. The sun climbs slowly, bathing the valley in full golden light. Shadows retreat fully now, but they soften against the warm earth, blending into gentle tones that soothe the eyes and heart. You notice the quiet unity of all things: the river, the stones, the flowers, the priests, the warriors, and the light itself, flowing together in tender alignment. Each breath you take becomes a part of this calm rhythm, slow and full, effortless in its serenity. A bird glides over the valley, wings catching the sunlight in soft golden flashes. Its shadow falls across the river, touching the ripples, the petals, and the soft reflections of the warriors kneeling nearby. You follow it with your awareness, feeling a gentle lift in your chest, a quiet joy that rises without haste, without sound, just the warm embrace of presence in the golden light. The priests kneel beside a stone altar, arranging small candles that flicker softly in the sunlight. Their whispers are melodic, low, almost imperceptible, yet they ripple across the valley, touching everything in their reach. You feel the warmth of both fire and sun, a quiet radiance that moves through your chest, softening every thought, settling every worry, and easing you further into peace. Warriors offer soft gestures of gratitude toward the rising sun, their movements slow and reverent. Hands brush lightly across the earth, shoulders bend in quiet acknowledgement, and every step is measured and tender. The sunlight wraps around them like a soft cloak, highlighting devotion in its most gentle form. You feel your breath align with theirs, the rise and fall of your chest moving with the unspoken rhythm of gratitude and calm. The river carries soft reflections of all this: petals, sunlight, stone, and movement. Every ripple reminds you of impermanence, yet each reflection is full and complete in its moment. You drift with the river, feeling the lesson of gentle continuity, the quiet embrace of passing time, and the serene presence of warmth that touches everything it meets. A gentle wind moves through the valley, brushing against petals, robes, and leaves. It carries the warmth of the sun, mixing air and light into a soft, golden haze. You notice how each movement is deliberate yet unforced, every gesture slow and meditative. The sun, the river, the wind, the prayers, they move together, a tender harmony, and you drift within this quiet music, every sense relaxed, every thought softened. The sun reaches its full morning warmth, spilling light into every corner. Petals glimmer, stones shine, water glows, and the valley hums softly with life. You feel your awareness settle fully into this embrace, every inch of your spirit wrapped in serene, golden calm. The whispers of priests, the gentle movements of warriors, the soft ripple of the river, all fold into your consciousness, a gentle meditation in motion. Now rest. Let the sun's tender warmth fill every part of you. Let the river, the petals, the whispers, and the golden light wrap you in their quiet embrace. Let your breath drift slowly, each exhale releasing tension, each inhale drawing calm. You are held, you are safe, you are a part of this serene rhythm. Let us drift onward past the stones, past the petals, past the shimmering river, floating with gentle awareness. Now rest as the sun continues to shine, as the whispers linger softly, and your spirit settles in golden serenity. The sun slowly retreats behind the mountains, leaving the valley in soft twilight. You float gently along stone paths, where the warmth of the day lingers quietly, now fading into a gentle coolness. The temples rise above you, their edges softened by the last golden rays, and shadows stretch lazily across carved stones, folding over each step and column. The air is calm, scented faintly with evening blooms, carrying whispers of petals and soft earth. A light wind moves through the courtyards, brushing across robes and feathers, stirring the faint aroma of incense. You notice the gentle rustle of leaves, the subtle murmur of the river nearby, and the distant echo of stones settling after a day of devotion. Every sound is soft, deliberate, and unhurried. It is a lullaby offered by the valley itself, inviting the spirit to rest and breathe with slow, even rhythm. Priests move quietly through the temples, their robes brushing stone with soft, rhythmic whispers. Their voices are low, almost imperceptible, carrying chants of gratitude and reflection. You drift beside them, letting the sound wrap around you like a warm, protective cloak. The words do not demand understanding, only presence. The sun's fading light touches their faces, highlighting the serenity of gentle devotion. Warriors kneel on the cool stone, their movements slow, careful, respectful. Each gesture is a soft bow, each tilt of the head a gentle recognition of the day's lessons. Their breath mingles with the evening air, slow and rhythmic, matching the soft pulse of the valley. You float alongside this quiet ritual, noticing how even the smallest movement feels sacred under the dimming sky. The first stars appear, pinpricks of silver light above the temples. They shimmer softly, reflected in the calm river that winds through the valley. You watch the reflections ripple gently with the water, each one a tiny echo of the heavens above. The river carries petals, small offerings, and soft shadows downstream, its surface a mirror of fleeting light and quiet wonder. Incense rises in gentle spirals from the temple altars, curling toward the heavens. Its scent mingles with the cool night air, a reminder of connection between earth and sky. The glow of small lamps flickers across carved walls, illuminating patterns and glyphs in tender warmth. You drift through this quiet glow, sensing the presence of the day's devotion lingering softly in every corner. The sun finally dips below the horizon, leaving the valley in delicate blue shadows. Each temple column seems to exhale, softened by the night. Shadows gather in the courtyards, gentle and slow-moving, like water folding over itself. You feel the calm of the valley deepen, a quiet invitation to surrender to rest and reflection. Priests gather in small circles beneath the open sky. Their whispers rise and fall with soft rhythm, harmonizing with the faint night breeze. Each word, each syllable seems to ripple outward, touching stone, feather, petal, and water. You float among them, carried by the gentle cadence, aware of the slow passage of time as the day folds into night. The river catches the first gleam of moonlight, sending silver threads across its surface. Petals and small offerings drift on these threads, turning slowly, a quiet meditation in motion. You follow the current, noticing how the water mirrors the sky and the sky reflects back a tender patience. Every ripple reminds you of impermanence, and yet of completeness in the present moment. A soft drum begins, distant and rhythmic, like the heartbeat of the valley itself. Warriors rise slowly, their movements deliberate, measured, and calm. Staffs touch lightly against the stone, producing sounds that are gentle echoes rather than forceful beats. Each motion is a soft reminder of discipline, devotion, and quiet strength. You drift with them, letting the rhythm match the slow rise and fall of your own breath. Torches flicker along the outer edges of the temples, casting a warm glow against the cool night. Shadows stretch and fold like gentle waves, brushing over stone and petal alike. You notice how every flame moves in delicate balance, each a small guardian of the quiet space. The warmth of the torches blends with the cool air, a soft equilibrium of contrasts that soothes the senses. A single owl glides silently through the courtyards, wings brushing the night air. Its eyes catch the flickering torchlight for a moment, then it disappears into the dark, leaving only the memory of movement. You follow the flight gently with your mind, feeling the quiet awareness of presence and the soft lesson of stillness it brings. The priests kneel once more, arranging small offerings along the temple steps. Flowers, water, and candles rest in delicate patterns, each touched by the last rays of the sun and the emerging moonlight. Their whispers rise with the incense, weaving a tapestry of calm and reverence across the valley. You feel the gentle weight of devotion, not heavy but soft, settling like a quiet blanket over the land and your spirit. Warriors sit in small circles near the river, letting the soft water mirror their reflections. They fold hands lightly, bow heads, and breathe in quiet alignment with the flow of life. You drift among them, noticing the subtle harmony between motion and stillness, the unspoken acknowledgement of impermanence, and the serene acceptance of the night. Petals float in the river under moonlight, their colors muted but still tenderly bright. Each turns and drifts, touched by water and air, reflecting the quiet sky above. You follow them slowly, sensing the gentle rhythm of natural cycles. Every petal, every ripple, every reflection becomes a meditation in presence, a soft lesson in patience and acceptance. A soft wind moves through the valley again, brushing stone, feather, and road. The incense curls higher, and the small flames of the lamps flicker in response. The night deepens around you, calm and unhurried. You sense the quiet persistence of the sun's warmth lingering in memory, now mingling with the cool, gentle embrace of evening. The stars spread across the sky, countless and bright, a soft mirror for the valley below. Their light touches river, stone, and temple alike, delicate and serene. You drift beneath them, feeling the quiet reassurance of constant presence, a gentle reminder that even as the day fades, the world continues to breathe in rhythm with the cosmos. The priests rise slowly, their movements measured, soft, and deliberate. They trace patterns in the air and the sand and over the stones, gestures that carry reverence and gentle guidance. Their whispers mingle with the river's murmur, the soft rustle of leaves, and the distant hum of stones settling. You drift among these sounds, each one a slow pulse of calm and reflection. Warriors stretch lightly, their motions soft, a meditation in movement. They bow, rotate, and touch the earth with care, aware of each gesture's connection to the wider rhythm of life. You feel the calm radiate from each careful motion, a quiet echo that enters your own awareness and softens your mind. The river's surface mirrors the starlit sky, carrying gentle reflections downstream. Petals drift with the water, tiny lights of color against silver. Every ripple, every turn, every pause is an echo of eternity in the present moment. You follow them, noticing how each carries the past day's devotion and the quiet anticipation of tomorrow, all wrapped in tender calm. Incense curls upward one last time, carrying soft fragrance across the valley. The priests' whispers fall into silence, leaving only the gentle hum of night. The warriors rest quietly, still in reverence, each movement slow and careful. You feel the lull settle over the valley, wrapping every stone, leaf, and petal in serene stillness. The moon rises fully, silver and soft, bathing the temples and river in tender light. Shadows fold and stretch, gentle as breath. Stars sparkle quietly above, a mirror for the calm valley below. You feel yourself drifting in this peaceful rhythm, each inhale and exhale blending seamlessly with the quiet pulse of night. Now rest. Let the cool night air, the warm memory of sunlight, the gentle whispers of priests, and the soft flow of the river embrace you. Let your mind drift slowly, every thought softening, every breath easing, carried in the tender balance of nightfall over the temples. Let us drift onward past the shadowed steps, past the flickering lamps, past the starlit river. Let the quiet settle deep within as the temples rest, as the flowers sigh, as the world softens in the embrace of night. Now rest as the stars return, and your spirit finds peace in the gentle rhythm of the evening. The valley lies quiet beneath the rising moon. Silver light stretches over the temple steps, softening every edge, tracing patterns in the stone that have witnessed centuries of devotion. You float gently along the worn paths, feeling the smooth curve of each step underfoot, the faint hum of the earth beneath. The air is cool and fragrant, carrying the scent of night-blooming flowers and faint, lingering incense. In this quiet hour, the warriors prepare. They do not move with haste or purpose driven by the world outside. Their actions are measured, deliberate, and calm. Each breath is a slow drumbeat, echoing the rhythm of life itself. You watch as a warrior sits alone beneath the shadow of a temple, hands resting gently on knees, eyes closed. The night holds them, cradling them in stillness before movement. The silence is deep, broken only by the soft ripple of water in the nearby river. Moonlight touches the surface, scattering across petals and stones. You drift beside the current, feeling the gentle passage of water as a mirror of inner reflection. Each ripple is a heartbeat, each petal a thought carried lightly across time. The warrior's heart mirrors this rhythm, steady and calm, connected to the universe's soft pulse. Around the temple, torches flicker in slow, steady breaths, casting golden light that mingles with silver moonbeams. Shadows stretch across the walls, intertwining with carved symbols of devotion. Every line in the stone tells a story of courage, every curve a reminder of dedication. You float through this quiet gallery, letting the stillness settle within your own chest. A soft wind moves across the courtyard, brushing the feathers of ceremonial headdresses and the delicate folds of robes. The warriors rise, standing slowly, grounded yet free, each motion as natural as the wind itself. Their steps are soft on the stone, each one an offering of presence and balance. You follow them, weightless, noticing how even in movement there is perfect calm. They carry no tension in their shoulders, no strain in their limbs. Their eyes are open, yet serene, aware of the moment, aware of the world, yet untouched by hurry. Each hand rests lightly on the hilt of ceremonial weapons, each gesture intentional yet gentle. You feel the harmony between strength and softness, the quiet bravery that does not demand recognition. The first star emerges high above the temple, bright against the deep blue of night. Its light shimmers on the polished stones and touches the warriors' faces with tender silver. You notice how their breath matches the rhythm of the night, the inhale, the pause, the exhale, and how their hearts echo that same steady song. Courage is not loud here. It is quiet, folded into each deliberate movement, each careful thought. A small drum begins to beat in the distance, slow and tender like the pulse of the earth itself. Warriors move in gentle formation, stepping with soft reverence. Every clash of wood and shield is softened by care, not force. The rhythm spreads across the courtyard, linking breath to heartbeat, movement to thought, soul to universe. You drift in this circle, cradled by the music of presence. The river nearby catches the moonlight once again, reflecting the warriors' silhouettes, fluid and serene. You follow your reflection on the water, noticing how the night softens edges and smooths surfaces. Each ripple carries a whisper of courage, each shimmer a trace of devotion. The warriors, still and moving alike, embody this quiet wisdom, teaching without words. The incense curls upward, slow and fragrant, connecting the earth and sky. You notice how the smoke bends with the wind, as if listening, as if following the gentle rhythm of the universe. The warriors' movements are mirrored in the curling smoke, slow and deliberate. The night becomes a bridge between the outer and inner world, a tender reminder that strength is found in stillness. A lone owl watches from a high branch, eyes luminous in the torchlight. Its presence is soft, a sentinel of the night. The warriors bow briefly in recognition, a small gesture of harmony between all living beings. You drift with the owl's gaze, sensing the unity of the night, stone, water, air, and heart, each breathing quietly together. The moon rises higher, spilling silver over the temple steps. Warriors kneel now, heads bowed, hands clasped. Their breath is slow and even, their hearts steady. Each movement is a silent prayer, a meditation, a gift of presence. You float among them, noticing how courage is not only action but also stillness, how devotion is not only ritual but also awareness. Petals lie scattered across the stone, remnants of earlier offerings. The wind moves them slightly, a soft dance across the surface. The warriors notice each petal, their gestures soft, hands hovering before allowing the petals to settle. Even in small details, there is reverence, a gentle acknowledgement that every moment carries meaning. Soft chants begin, low and rhythmic, not rushed, not demanding. They rise and fall like the tide, joining the drum, the river, and the heartbeat of the night. The warriors' voices do not dominate, they blend, a seamless melody of devotion and reflection. You drift within this song, feeling it enter the spaces between thoughts, filling silence with gentle awareness. A warrior lifts a small mirror of polished obsidian, holding it toward the moonlight. The reflection shimmers, silvered and calm. You notice how the warrior's eyes meet their own gaze, not with judgment, but with quiet recognition. Each reflection is an invitation to see courage, devotion, and stillness within, to find the sacred in the self and in every act. The drum beats continue, soft and steady. Warriors move again, this time in slow arcs and circles, ceremonial and flowing. Their bodies speak the language of devotion, each gesture an echo of ancient wisdom. You float beside them, carried by the flow, noticing how even motion becomes meditation, how every step is a prayer. The river whispers nearby, water sliding over stones in quiet rhythm. Petals float upon it, carrying reflection and presence. The moon's silver touch turns each ripple into a tiny mirror, and you sense the gentle passage of time, not hurried, not measured, only flowing in perfect alignment with the heartbeats around you. Incense curls higher, carrying the soft scent across the valley. The stars above twinkle gently, mirrored in the eyes of the warriors and the still river below. You feel the quiet energy, the soft courage that does not shout but simply exists. You notice the deep alignment of heart and mind, breath and movement, soul and night. Now the warriors kneel once more, hands pressed gently to the stone. Heads bowed, breath slow, their hearts steady. Every muscle is relaxed, every thought quieted. The night holds them, and you are held too, carried in the rhythm of stillness beneath action. Each heartbeat is a drum, each breath a river, each pause a prayer. You notice the soft glow of moonlight on petals, stone, and water. The night is tender, full of quiet lessons whispered without sound. Courage is here, devotion is here, and stillness underlies all action. You float in this gentle understanding, the body light, the mind calm, the spirit connected to the soft pulse of the universe. The drum slows, the river continues its quiet song, the incense curls one final time. The warriors rest, shadows and silver light mingling around them. You feel the calm of nightfall settling in your chest, the gentle warmth of devotion and courage wrapping around your spirit like a soft blanket. The moon climbs higher, bathing the valley in soft silver. Stars shine brightly, steady and quiet. You drift in the gentle embrace of the night, carried by every heartbeat, every breath, every whisper of wind. The warrior's spirit, calm and steadfast, flows through you, guiding your own heart towards serenity and reflection. Now rest. Let the night carry you gently. Let the river mirror your calm. Let the petals float softly in your mind. Let the moonlight touch your spirit, and let the drum of your heart align with the quiet rhythm of the universe. Let us drift onward, past the temple steps, past the flickering torches, past the gentle river. Let the spirit of the warrior fill your chest with calm courage and tender presence. Now rest. As the stars return, and your soul finds peace in the quiet rhythm of night and devotion. The night has softened the valley into a quiet, deep hush. Moonlight spills across the temple steps, touching each stone with silver calm. You drift softly along the worn paths, the air cool and fragrant, carrying the faint perfume of flowers and the lingering trace of incense. Shadows stretch gently, curling around pillars and carvings, and every line in the stone seems to hum with quiet memory. Above, stars shimmer like distant lanterns, small lights suspended in the velvet sky. Each one seems to listen, patient and tender, to the murmured prayers rising from the temple courtyard. You float among them, weightless, noticing how the night folds all things into gentle silence. The warriors and priests gather slowly, their steps soft on the stone, their movements deliberate and calm. There is no rush here, no hurry to perform or impress. Each gesture is simple, quiet, and full of presence. They carry flowers, small feathers, and polished stones, offerings of devotion. You watch them, noticing how even small acts can hold deep meaning. A soft wind moves across the courtyard, stirring petals scattered from earlier rituals. Each petal dances lightly, lifted into the air, carried upward with effortless grace. You follow their flight, floating as they float, noticing how each movement is gentle, each pause full of reverence. The sky seems to embrace them, accepting the offering with quiet ease. The priests begin to chant, their voices low and soothing, a soft river of sound that ripples across the temple. Each syllable rises and falls with natural rhythm, blending with the breath of the night. You drift in the melody, noticing how even in simple words there is depth, a sacred energy that moves like a slow current through the air. The flowers are placed carefully on stone altars, petals overlapping like gentle waves. The feathers are laid with delicate hands, their colors soft under moonlight. Each stone is touched lightly, a small act of presence and devotion. You feel how these simple offerings connect earth to sky, heart to spirit, presence to eternity. A single feather rises as a soft gust lifts it into the air. It swirls slowly, carried upward in quiet dance, reflecting moonlight in silvered arcs. You follow its path, watching as it ascends toward the stars, noticing how lightness and intention carry it higher than strength alone ever could. Each small act becomes part of the larger sky, part of the unseen harmony of the universe. The wind moves again, brushing against the robes of the priests and the leaves of nearby trees. A soft rustle accompanies the chant, joining the river, the petals, and the quiet beating of hearts. You sense the dialogue between earth and sky, a conversation without words, carried in gestures and presence. The water in the nearby river shimmers under the moon, reflecting the altars, the offerings, and the soft movements of the temple's guardians. Each ripple becomes a mirror, a gentle echo of devotion. You float along the surface, feeling the connection between movement and stillness, between the visible and the unseen. The priests raise their hands slowly, palms open, and release a shower of petals into the air. The flowers float upward, spinning and turning, carried by invisible hands of wind. You drift with them, noticing how small gestures, performed with care and attention, can ascend into vast, unseen heights. The petals seem to speak to the stars, each a soft word of reverence and love. A single chant rises above the others, long and tender, stretching across the valley. You feel the sound wrap around your chest, settling your heart into quiet rhythm. Every breath you take aligns with this gentle song. Every heartbeat matches the slow pulse of presence and devotion around you. The warriors kneel, placing their offerings carefully beside the priests. Their hands are light, their movements deliberate, and their eyes are soft, reflecting both the moonlight and the flickering torches. You notice how courage and devotion are intertwined here, how even those who walk paths of action can perform gentle, reverent gestures. A soft breeze lifts the scent of the flowers and incense, carrying it upward. You imagine it drifting through the branches of night trees, through the still air into the wide sky. The wind becomes a carrier of prayer, a bridge between the earth and the heavens. Each petal, each feather, each whispered word rides upon it with lightness and care. The chant slow, stretching each note like a ripple in water. The priests lower their heads, hands pressed gently together, breathing in the quiet and letting it settle into their beings. You drift beside them, noticing how devotion is not always loud or grand. It can be small, subtle, and tender, yet rise higher than any shout. The river reflects the movement of the offerings, petals and feathers gliding across the water before the wind lifts them. You watch as the reflection and the real mingle, the seen and the unseen harmonize. Every ripple, every shimmer becomes a small echo of the sacred dialogue between earth and sky. A feather lands softly on the river's surface, floating gently, turning in the current. You follow it with your eyes, noticing the slow, meditative rhythm. Even in descent, there is grace. Even in stillness, there is motion. Every act, no matter how small, becomes part of the vast, flowing pattern of devotion. The stars above twinkle as if responding to the offerings. Moonlight spreads across the temple steps, illuminating faces and gestures with quiet clarity. You sense the presence of countless generations, all performing similar acts of devotion, all whispering prayers into the night. Each small act joins this long, gentle current, rising higher and higher, touching something vast and tender. A single petal drifts past the moon, caught in a current of wind that lifts it gently. You follow, noticing how the effortlessness of the wind carries it, how intention and care shape its journey. Each act of giving, each release, each soft gesture reaches upward in quiet harmony, touching sky, stars, and spirit alike. The priest's chants come to a gentle close, voices lowering into silence. You notice how the absence of sound is also part of the offering, how quiet can carry devotion as clearly as song. The wind stills, the river continues its gentle flow, and the moon shines softly, holding everything in calm embrace. You drift among the warriors and priests, feeling the lingering presence of the offerings, the soft weightlessness of petals and feathers, the faint perfume of flowers and incense. Everything here moves slowly, deliberately, a meditation in motion. Even the air itself seems to breathe with care. Hands are lowered, heads bowed, eyes soft with reflection. Each person in the temple courtyard is connected through subtle gestures, through presence, through the quiet intention to honor what is higher than themselves. You float among them, noticing how simple acts performed with care can reach divine heights. The stars twinkle above in gentle rhythm, mirrored in the quiet water below. The moon casts silver across the altars, petals, and feathers. Every movement, every breath, every heartbeat is part of this sacred harmony. You drift with it, feeling your own chest rise and fall in gentle alignment with the rhythm of night and devotion. The river carries the final petals from the courtyard, letting them float downstream in soft arcs. Feathers drift slowly across the temple steps, carried lightly by invisible hands. The wind murmurs faintly, as if whispering approval, and the incense curls one last time into the sky. You feel the sacred dialogue, the gentle conversation between earth and sky, between giving and receiving, between the small and the vast. Each act of offering, no matter how tender or quiet, participates in a timeless rhythm, reaching higher than eyes can see, touching hearts unseen. Now rest. Let the petals, the feathers, and the prayers settle softly in your mind. Let your breath drift in gentle harmony with the river, the wind, the night. Feel the calm rise into your chest, the quiet warmth of devotion and presence filling your spirit. Let us drift onward past the temple, past the flickering torches, past the soft river and the rising moon. Let every gentle act, every tender offering carry you higher, resting your heart in the silent, expansive embrace of the heavens. Now rest as the stars return, and your soul floats in the quiet, eternal rhythm of devotion. The valley is quiet, settled beneath a twilight sky that stretches softly across the horizon. You drift among the ancient stones and worn paths, feeling the gentle press of time in the air. The light has softened into a muted glow, where shadows linger without sharpness, curling like slow waves across the ground. A soft breeze moves through the trees, carrying whispers of leaves and the faint scent of blossoms. Each leaf seems to murmur the names of those who walked here before. You follow the sound as it drifts past, noticing how memory itself feels like wind, ever present, ever gentle, brushing against the skin of the heart. Near a still pool of water, petals float lazily, gliding across the surface as though moved by invisible hands. They are pale and tender, drifting without hurry, each one a quiet echo of a life once lived. You watch as they turn slowly, carried by currents unseen, and you sense how memory can bloom softly, like a flower on water, touching all who pause to notice. The priests and guardians move quietly along the pathways, carrying small offerings of flowers and stones. Their gestures are deliberate, slow, and tender. No words are spoken, only the soft brushing of feet on stone, the gentle rustle of robes, the faint settling of petals as they are laid upon the earth. You feel their presence as a quiet wave of care and remembrance, a gentle bow to those who came before. A single petal lifts into the air, caught in a tender gust. You follow it upward, drifting alongside, noticing how lightness and intention carry it farther than effort alone could. In its slow arc, you sense the invisible thread of continuity, linking past and present, earth and sky, heart and spirit. Soft chanting rises in the distance, low and melodic. It is not loud, not urgent, merely present, wrapping the valley in a delicate rhythm. You float with it, noticing how each note mirrors the rise and fall of the water, the movement of petals, the slow breathing of the night. Memory itself seems to sing, quietly, tenderly, into the hearts of all who listen. Along the riverbank, stones are carefully placed in small circles. Each one carries a name, a story, a gesture of love. You drift past, feeling the weightlessness of reverence, noticing how even small acts can anchor memory in the world. Each stone, each circle, each gesture is a quiet offering to the unseen, a gentle acknowledgement of lives once present. The wind stirs again, brushing across the pool and carrying ripples of petals in gentle arcs. You follow them as they move, noticing the delicate interplay of light and shadow on water, petals floating like tender thoughts. Each petal is a story, a breath, a remembrance made visible for a moment before it drifts onward. The guardians pause, kneeling beside the water. Their hands hover above the surface, releasing flowers and small feathers with care. You watch as each offering falls, touching the water with softness, the ripples carrying it outward, merging with petals that drift from before. Memory unfolds in layers, each act building upon another, a slow meditation in motion. A single feather rises into the air, caught by a subtle current. You drift beside it, noticing how even as it leaves the hand, it remains part of a gentle conversation between earth and sky, past and present. The feather twirls, light and effortless, and you sense how remembrance, like feathers and petals, can soar quietly, unseen yet profoundly present. The moon casts silver light across the valley, illuminating petals, feathers, and flowing water with soft clarity. You float among the reflections, seeing how each ripple mirrors the sky, how each movement in water reflects the delicate patterns of memory. Presence and absence blend, visible and invisible harmonize, and everything seems held in a tender balance. Soft footsteps echo on stone paths. You notice warriors walking slowly, heads bowed, carrying small offerings of flowers. Their movements are ritual, but there is no hurry, no performance. Each step is a gentle acknowledgement of those who came before, a quiet meditation of continuity, a gentle honoring of lives remembered. The wind shifts, carrying the scent of earth, blossoms, and incense. You follow the scent, noticing how it rises and mingles with moonlight, weaving through the valley like a slow, delicate thread. Each inhale brings the presence of memory into your chest. Each exhale releases the weight of absence into quiet acceptance. The priests chant softly once more, voices blending with water and wind. You float among them, noticing how sound can carry remembrance, how melody can hold stories without speaking names. Each note is a gentle brush against the soul, each pause a place to rest in stillness. You feel how memory is not only in the mind but in breath, in heart, in soft gestures repeated over time. The petals drift past the edge of the pool, carried slowly by current and wind. You follow them, noticing the patterns they form, the subtle dance across water and stone. Each pattern is unique, yet connected, each movement a quiet reflection of life's gentle flow. You feel the pulse of continuity, the calm rhythm of presence echoing across centuries. A single flower lands on the water with a soft splash, petals trembling in response. You watch as ripples expand outward, touching other petals, other offerings, merging memory and presence into one fluid motion. Even in silence, even in stillness, there is movement. Even in absence, even in memory, there is life. The stars begin to shimmer more brightly, reflected in the still pool and on petals floating above. You notice how light carries memory too, small points of radiance connecting heaven and earth. Each star seems to witness, quietly and tenderly, the unfolding ritual of remembrance below. You drift past a circle of stones where offerings of feathers, flowers, and small shells rest. Each carries a memory, a whisper, a pulse of life once lived. You feel how gentle remembrance can guide the present, how soft reflection can bring the wisdom of past lives into quiet understanding. The river continues its slow journey, carrying petals downstream. You drift beside it, noticing how each ripple carries both story and stillness, both presence and absence. You sense the continuity of life, the soft weaving of souls across time, the tender dialogue between what was, what is, and what will always linger. A gust lifts petals into the air, swirling them gently above the pool. You follow them as they rise and fall, noticing how effortless motion can reflect the deepest care. Each petal moves in its own rhythm, yet moves with all others, part of the same gentle harmony. You feel the balance between letting go and holding close, between presence and memory. The priests lower their heads, hands resting lightly upon offerings. Their breaths are slow and even, each inhalation and exhalation a quiet meditation. You drift with them, noticing how small acts of devotion and remembrance ripple outward, reaching unseen heights, touching life beyond the valley, beyond the night. A soft wind brushes across your face, carrying whispers of leaves, petals, and feathers. Each whisper speaks of connection, of continuity, of the tender memory held in every gesture. You float with it, feeling the gentle touch of time passing, the quiet presence of countless souls remembered, the soft embrace of the night itself. Petals land softly on stone, floating gently across the surface of the water. Feathers drift slowly past the moonlight, reflecting silvered arcs across the valley. Each movement is quiet, deliberate, full of reverence. Even absence feels full here, even silence holds presence. You drift beside a small group of warriors and priests, noticing their soft murmurs and gentle gestures. Each act, no matter how small, carries memory and devotion alike. Flowers placed, stones touched, hands lifted and lowered, all join the quiet song of remembrance echoing across time. The river reflects the moon and stars, petals, feathers, and the subtle movements of all who gather. You float above it, noticing how every ripple mirrors the vast sky, how every small gesture participates in a continuum of presence, devotion, and memory. Now rest. Let each petal, each feather, each gentle breath settle within you. Let your heart float with the river, rise with the wind, and shine softly with the reflected stars. You are part of the quiet rhythm, the tender dialogue, the flowing harmony of all who walked here before. Let us drift onward past the river, past the moonlit stones, past the gentle gathering of offerings. Let memory bloom in your chest like petals on water, soft and luminous, teaching compassion, continuity, and gentle remembrance. Now rest as the stars return, and your spirit floats in the serene embrace of past, present, and timeless care. The valley is hushed, wrapped in the tender arms of twilight. You drift over fields where petals once danced with gentle motion, where the flower wars have long since faded into soft echoes. The earth is calm now, still and warm beneath your presence, and the last light of day stretches like gold across distant hills. A slow wind stirs, carrying the faint perfume of blossoms and soft earth. It moves with purpose yet without urgency, brushing across your skin like a whisper. You follow it as it drifts among scattered petals, noticing how each small movement carries the quiet memory of life and devotion, how each ripple of air can touch the soul like a gentle hand. The shadows of the valley lengthen, softening every stone, every tree, every trace of motion into gentle shapes. Light and dark blend together, not in conflict but in harmony. You drift along this threshold of twilight, where memory of movement and the stillness of night mingle effortlessly, and the heart feels a profound ease. Near a tranquil stream, petals float on the water's surface. They move slowly, carried by currents that twist and turn without effort. Each one is luminous under the fading light, each one a tender echo of past gestures, small acts of love, quiet offerings left in the fields. You drift beside them, sensing how even fleeting things can hold permanence in their grace. The air is filled with a soft murmur, distant voices, low and harmonic, as if the valley itself remembers the songs of those who walked here before. You float through the sound, noticing how gentle rhythm mirrors the rise and fall of water, the slow swaying of petals, the even breathing of the night. Each note carries calm, each pause gives space to rest. Along the edges of the field, stones stand in small, careful clusters. Some are worn smooth with age, others freshly placed, each holding silent homage to the spirits of the past. You drift past, sensing that each stone is a memory, each arrangement a conversation between those who lived and those who remember. Here, reverence is quiet, tender, unhurried. Above, the sky deepens to indigo, and the first stars appear, shy and trembling with light. They reflect softly on pools of water, on petals drifting in gentle arcs. You notice how the stars and petals seem to converse, whispering across the valley, echoing the quiet dialogue of all who came before. Even the heavens are part of this tender remembrance. The wind stirs again, lifting petals and loose feathers into the air. You follow them as they swirl lazily, watching how effortless movement can hold infinite care. Each swirl is a meditation, each rising and falling a reflection of the calm that now settles over the valley. You sense the rhythm of eternity, quiet and patient, carrying all things with gentle attention. Near the stream, the last of the warriors linger, heads bowed, hands open in soft reverence. Their breathing is slow and steady, a heartbeat aligned with the pulse of the universe. You drift beside them, feeling the quiet echo of courage, devotion, and care. Even in rest, even in silence, their presence carries meaning, as petals float onward in peaceful currents. Soft, low chants rise from hidden corners, blending with the wind and water. They are neither urgent nor loud, simply present, carrying remembrance, devotion, and release. You float among them, noticing how sound can hold stillness, how melody can fold memory into peace, how each tone is a thread linking earth, sky, and heart. The petals continue their gentle voyage, touching water, stone, and air with tender motion. You notice how they drift in patterns not visible but deeply felt, weaving a tapestry of calm across the valley. Each movement is deliberate yet effortless. Each turn of a petal, a quiet echo of the care once present in the flower wars, now transformed into serenity. Moonlight spills across the valley, silvering the petals, the water, the scattered stones. Shadows soften into rounded shapes, blending with light, carrying no tension, no rush. You drift along the moonlit paths, noticing how even absence holds a kind of presence, how stillness is not empty but full of gentle remembrance. A small feather rises into the air, turning slowly, carried on invisible currents. You drift beside it, watching its journey with patient attention. Each twist and turn mirrors the slow unfolding of thought, the quiet drifting of memory into calm reflection. Even as it floats away, it remains present, a soft bridge between what was and what is. The water murmurs along its gentle course, carrying petals downstream, past stones, past fields, past the last lingering flowers of offering. You follow the flow, noticing how it teaches patience, how it holds both movement and stillness at once. The river reflects the moon, the stars, and the drifting petals, carrying the universe gently on its surface. You drift to a circle of small stones placed long ago by careful hands. Each one is a memory, a note of devotion, a whisper of love. You hover above them, sensing how these small acts carry across time, how continuity and care are etched into every gesture. Even in stillness, the valley hums with the quiet pulse of remembrance. The night deepens, a soft canopy of indigo and silver, dotted with stars that shimmer like tender eyes. You notice how the valley breathes in this darkness, how shadows soften further, how every movement, every reflection, every ripple of petal or feather is absorbed into calm. The flower wars have ended, yet their essence remains as gentle memory, carried by air, water, and harp. Soft footsteps echo on distant stones, a gentle rhythm without haste. You drift past, sensing the presence of those who walk quietly among the fields, carrying reverence in each careful step. Their gestures are soft, unobtrusive, full of quiet understanding. You feel the teaching here, that even small movements, even subtle attention can hold vast calm. A single petal rises above the river, lifted by a tiny gust. You follow its slow, swirling path as it floats upward, twisting, gliding, settling, then rising again. You feel how effortless attention can transform presence, how release can be full of care, how drifting can become a meditation. The petal moves as if guided by gentle intention, reminding you that stillness carries its own strength. The moon climbs higher, casting long, tender reflections across water, petals, and stone. Shadows blend with light in a soft, luminous embrace. You float beside the river, feeling the balance of motion and stillness, of memory and release, of quiet care that rests over all things. The priest's soft chants echo once more, gentle as distant water. You drift through the sound, noticing how it folds into the night, how it mingles with moonlight and petals, how even the softest act can carry meaning across eternity. Each tone is a brush of tenderness against the soul, each pause a place to rest completely. The river widens, carrying petals slowly, steadily, into pools of calm. Feathers and blossoms drift alongside, merging into gentle harmony. You follow them with a slow, even heartbeat, noticing how motion and stillness are not opposed but entwined, how even departure can hold presence, how even absence can shine with memory. Soft wind brushes across your face, whispering through trees, carrying the faint scent of earth and blossom. You drift with it, noticing how subtle sensation can hold the heart, how soft currents carry the spirit into quiet reflection. Each moment is full, yet light, each breath a gentle anchor in the calm of the night. Petals settle lightly on the water, ripples carrying them into gentle arcs. Feathers float past moonlit stones, merging with reflection and shadow. You drift beside them, noticing the delicate choreography of memory and stillness, the harmony of motion and pause. Every movement is quiet, deliberate, serene. The valley holds you tenderly now, the river, the moon, the stars, and the drifting petals carrying you into deep ease. You feel the heartbeat of the night, slow and steady, aligned with the rhythm of eternity. Even the echoes of flower wars now rest in gentle memory, transformed into calm, luminous reflection. Now rest. Let each petal, each feather, each gentle current settle within you. Let the quiet river carry your heart. Let the wind lift your spirit. Let the moon and stars reflect serenity into every part of your being. Memory, presence, and calm mingle into one luminous, gentle whole. Let us drift onward past the river, past the moonlit stones, past the last whispers of petals and feathers. Let your spirit float in the serene embrace of the valley, cradled by timeless calm, carried gently into sleep. Let your mind rest, your heart soften, and your soul drift freely with petals of memory, embraced by eternal calm.